All right, so here I have the Mizuno Wave Horizon 4s. And start off with the upper. The upper is this mesh material. It's really nice. Nice and breathable. Good job, Mizuno. The midsole is a mixture of these two foams. You can see the dark gray and the white. And I guess they call it their Euphorics midsole. But what's interesting, if you go towards the interior here, this shoe is actually a stability shoe. But in most stability shoes, you'll see they'll have like a dual density cutout. There's going to be a block here where they put in really dense, firm foam. And that's to kind of control your pronation as you go through your gait cycle. This shoe does not have that. But you can see the kind of the split between the two foams changes. There's more of the white foam here. This is definitely not a dual density foam. It's still pretty cushy. But I think that change in the the foam composition between the two foams is Mizuno's way of trying to make this a stability shoe experience. So yeah, I mean, interesting midsole, very, very cushioned. Both these foams are pretty soft. There's a lot of foam there, for sure. All right, the outsole. Probably, I think, a highlight for me for the shoe. I mean, one thing I've noticed with Mizuno shoes is just like how significant and substantial the shoe is, particularly the outsole. There is so much rubber here, and it feels very tacky, very durable. It grips very well. I think that this rubber is going to last a very long time, and even if it didn't, there's just so much rubber that you would wear fine. The foam is going to be protected. Yeah, so it's a nice outsole. I wear a lot. I guess I push off hard with my toes. I'm not really sure, but in all the shoes that I run in, the toes really wear down. I'm sure that's the same for everyone. This is holding up pretty well so far, but again, there's just so much rubber there that it's going to be okay. And then you're just so well protected with this outsole. I just think that you could run. This is really perfect for road running, but if you're gonna run on trails, grass, and just even ungroomed trails where there's rocks, there's so much foam and so much rubber here that if you step on something sharp, your foot is going to be fine. Like, this is going to protect your foot extremely well. A few other things is they have this X-Pop foam, which I guess is a new foam technology that they have. It looks like this yellow cheese here. And if you remember, I reviewed the Wave Sky 3 a long time ago, and that's the neutral version of this shoe. And I really like that shoe. I really like the cushion on that shoe and just the experience I had. I think it lasted me like 750 miles or something. And I actually cut that shoe open and took out this foam, and the foam seems still perfectly spongy. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to cut this shoe open. I'm 200 miles in right now, and so still got a ways to go. But I'd like to see them use more of this foam, because the shoe does feel pretty good. The other thing too is, Mizuno, their big thing. I had two pairs of Mizunos a long time ago, 7 and 5 years ago, and both of them had that wave plate, and it's a plastic plate that runs through Mizuno shoes. You can see it through the midsole. You can see it on the bottom of the shoe typically, and this shoe does not have that. And I much prefer this, where it's just a normal kind of foam composition. There's no plastic going through the shoe. I mean, I don't really know what benefit it actually provides other than, the marketing behind it. This shoe does not have that, so it's, nice, uninterrupted ride, I guess. I just like to know that there's not like some plastic plate going through there, unless of course, you have a carbon plate and you're racing in those shoes. I just don't think that's necessary in a trainer. So yeah, that is noticeably absent from this shoe. But yeah, really solid outsole. I think this will hold up super well. I think with this shoe, I am a neutral runner, and this shoe is a stability shoe. I haven't run a stability shoe in ages, but I wanted to give this shoe a try because I like the Wave Sky 3 so much. I think ultimately, the shoe is not going to get great marks from me because and again, I think this may be because it is designed as a stability shoe, but the ride, I just felt a very weird sensation when I was running. It's like the shoe was kind of pushing you to run in a certain way as you transition, land on the ground, and transition through your gait cycle. It's a very weird, experience to describe. But the way I would describe it is that as I'm running, I feel like the shoe is kind of pushing me kind of to toe off with my big toe more. So it's almost like, the shoe is guiding you to run more off your big foot as you land and go through your gait cycle. And I just don't like that sensation very much. And I think that for me kind of ruins the shoe. I'd say the other thing too is it's just not very versatile. This shoe weighs so much. I saw a few different numbers online, but somewhere between 11 and 12 ounces in a size 9. I'd say it's probably closer to 12 if I were to guess. I have big feet, so this shoe weighs a ton. And so if you're looking for, maybe you did a really hard workout or race the day prior and you just want to go for a nice slow run the next day, this is a great shoe for that. Recovery shoe, recovery day where you don't care about speed. But I mean, you cannot work out in this shoe. It is way too heavy. It is way too clunky. And typically that's a trade-off I'm willing to make for a nice cushioned shoe. But I mean, this is so extreme that it just kind of, that calculus no longer pays off. It is way too heavy, way too clunky. And the cushioning is very nice, but it's just, I really think I would only use this for recovery days if I was training seriously for something. So that to me, just having such a limited, and again, like you could probably do trail running in this, and I think the traction would be great and your foot would be protected, but like at that point, I wouldn't get these. I would just get a trail running shoe if that's what I was going to do in these shoes. So it's strange because I thought that trade-off was fine in the Wave Sky 3s, which is probably a similar weight to this, but I think for me, I mean, definitely in that shoe was not a good shoe for fartleks or tempos. This shoe, just the ride is just not, like I said, as smooth or natural feeling as I would like. And then just the added weight, it's just not ideal. The other thing here that comes to mind is Mizuno with the sizing is crazy to me. So I'm always a size 14. They don't make size 14 and a half, so the next size up for me would be a size 15. Size 14 in this shoe is too small for me, so I have to get a size 15. Size 15 is a little bit too big for me. So it's just a massive shoe, and it's really heavy as it is, and so I'm wearing size 15, so it just kind of makes that worse. And so what I would recommend to you is going at least a size up in this shoe, and maybe a full size if necessary. I don't know why the sizing is so off. I'm almost always a size 14, but that's my experience with the sizing here. So be careful when you're ordering online. Go at least a half size up. I've seen other people comment the same thing. At this point, they've already come out with the Wave Horizon 5, which looks like a very similar shoe. I'm sure they built it on the same mold and the same last, and so it's probably a similar sizing experience there too. The price point on these guys is $160, so it's a very expensive shoe as well. On Amazon, you can really find these discounted, so that's what I did. So you can find these easily below $100. Right now, probably in the $80 range is where you can find them. And I think at that price, it may be worth a look if you're looking for a recovery shoe that's a stability-focused shoe. But again, out of 10, I'm gonna probably give these like a 6.5, just because I did not like the feel of the ride in this shoe, and that to me is just so important. But again, I am a neutral runner, and this is a stability shoe, and so maybe I should have expected that. But yeah, I think it's a good effort by Mizuno, but for me, it just did not work out.